Finally, round two. New York Islanders versus the Boston Bruins. This is going to be a nasty one, folks. You know it. I know it. They know it. Now, surprisingly, I read the stat today that these teams have only faced each other like 3 times in the playoffs overall, which is shocking to me. And I think the last time was 1983. Now, when it comes to the regular season series, the Islanders took 5 of the 8 games that they played against each other, but that's a bit deceiving because Boston won the last 3, and of course they were, if not the best team in the NHL from the trade deadline on. Of course, they got Hull amongst other players, and they were just a much deeper, team right now. So, against Washington, the Bruins, of course, won that series in 5 games. New York Islanders won their series against Pittsburgh in 6. When it comes to who outscored who, the Boston outscored the Washington 16-10. New York Islanders outscored Pittsburgh 21-6. And let's move on. Let's talk about special teams here. Boston's power play in the playoffs is ranked 5th so far at 26.3%. 5th, and it's that good. 5th. Wow. New York Islanders are 9th. On the penalty kill, Boston is 4th. The Islanders are 9th as well. Face-off win percentage. Both these teams are pretty good at the dot. It'll be interesting to see that battle on special teams sort of fall out. When it comes to point leaders, with 5+ points, Boston has 2 of them. Pasternak's got 6, McAvoy's got 5, Bergeron just missed out with 4. And then for the Islanders, they've got 4 players. Yeah, I was surprised too. Pajot and Beauvillier both have 7 points. Nelson and Bailey both have 6. And Mayfield just missed out on that category with 4. Now, for goal leaders with 3+ goals in the playoffs so far, Boston's got 2 of them, with Bergeron and Marchand both have 3. And then for the Islanders, they've got 4. Nelson, Beauvillier, Palmieri, and Bailey all have 3 goals. Let's talk about some goaltending now. Boston, Tuukka Rask, he's ranked 3rd so far in save percentage with a .941 in 5 games. And then for the Islanders, Sorokin is actually ranked 2nd with a .943 in 4 games, 1 less. And then there's Varlamov, of course, who also played in that series against Pittsburgh. He was a .903 in 2 games. Now, I've got a couple more categories here, or I've got a category where I separated the defense from the forwards and looked at their their box stats. Now, on the defensive side of things, the Islanders of Boston are both tied with 11 points from their D. The Islanders have a slightly better plus-minus in that category too. From the forward perspective, the Islanders have got 13 more points than Boston's forward group. Again, they played an extra game, right? But they won that battle 43-30. In the plus-minus category, again, the Islanders are slightly better there. Who do I think is the X factor in this series? For the Islanders, you could just pick a number of players, really, from Sorokin to almost an entire third line that they have with Pajot, Palmieri. I think I'm going to go with Beauvillier, though, their point leader. Young kid, he's got 3 goals, is tied for the lead there, and leads them, tied for the lead in points as well with 7. For Boston, I'm going to go with Hull, because he's this shiny new guy who's managed to change their entire scope of their forward group by just pushing everyone down. That third line's got Coyle, Ritchie, and DeBrusk on it. Nothing to sneeze at either. DeBrusk has got, he's got like 2 or 3 goals himself in the series against Washington. So they're dangerous all the way down just because of the way Hull has settled in that second line. Him and Krejci, especially during the last part of the regular season, obviously made some magic together. And we can never totally forget about Smith either, right? What are the keys to this series? For Boston, I think I'm looking at, can they crack Trotz's defensive code. And Cassidy's a smart guy. It's possible, obviously. It's been done. Tampa did it last season. And then, can they break Sorokin? Which kind of goes hand in hand. He's been so hot so far. And will their own defense hold up in this series? You know, no more Krug and Chara. I know that's a broken record by now. But we'll see. You know, who's going to play in that lineup? Is Clifton and Lauzon gonna stay? Is Miller going to show up? I probably should have checked the injury list for these two clubs. But you know what I mean. Now, for the Islanders, keys to the series, will they sustain Boston's newfound depth? And because it's much deeper than Pittsburgh's. And can their own offense continue to blossom? And will they win the war of attrition without taking any penalties? Because Boston will kill you on the power play. Yeah. Now, the big moment. Who do I think's going to win this series? This up until an hour ago, I had a hard time choosing, but I think I have to go with Boston here, and I'm going to say in 6 games. It just comes down to the offense, I think, for me, and Tuukka Rask just continues to get better in the playoffs, like he did even the season before, before the bubble. He was trending in that direction when they faced the St. Louis Blues in the final. I just don't know if their offense can keep up, and Sorokin, it's his first season in the playoffs, and there's just a little bit too unknown there with a bit of a rookie goaltender. So yeah, there you have it. But for those of you who have skipped to the end of the video, who do I pick to win this series? Well, I think I'm going the Islanders in 7 games, and that's my final answer. Let me know who you pick in the comment section below, and why, and in how many games. I would love to hear from you, of course. Don't forget, you can find me on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, in the connection in my description box if you'd like. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, which will alert you when my next video comes out. Thank you again. Please don't forget to be kind to each other out there, and I'll see you soon.